Mississippi is no longer under the red flag warning for significant fire danger, but there are still plenty of brush fires popping up all over the Magnolia State. Our Stephen Pempo was at the scene of one of those fires earlier today. He joins us tonight in the studio with more on that. Stephen.
Audria, that's right. Now, originally, I was scheduled to interview a forester at the site of a fire in Hamilton, but before we could get started, he was called to an active fire in Itawamba County, and I followed him. As soon as we got there, he was deployed to yet another fire. It was a small taste of the kind of workload they deal with during fire season.
Gust of wind took it, and
that's all it took to turn what was supposed to be a 5-acre controlled burn into a wildfire. Jordan Hankins says he and a group of friends tried to fight yesterday's fire on his 1,800-acre property themselves.
We fought it last night till about 8 o'clock, and it looked like it was dying down, and so we thought it would die out.
The fire at this Fulton property was burning for more than 24 hours. During that time, the owner estimates it consumed at least 100 acres of land. Wednesday morning, Hankins called in the Mississippi Forestry Commission.
The main objective was to try to cut off the head fire from getting into the small pine plantation, and then we're going to start working the west flank and then back down the east flank.
In the last 24 hours, the Mississippi Forestry Commission says they've responded to 88 fires covering nearly 5,000 acres across the state.
The winds are gusting today probably 15, 20 mile an hour. Just prime conditions for a wildfire.
Michael Huey, the forester for Itawamba, Monroe, and Chickasaw counties, says the Fulton fire is the 5th one he's responded to this week.
With the right amount of equipment, it's not very hard, but it just takes a lot of man hours and a lot of personnel. Just fortunate for the volunteer fire departments in most cases because they do help us out a lot.
As of Wednesday afternoon, Huey said they had the fire in Fulton about 85% contained. But their job doesn't stop there.
Making sure there's no hot spots, and make sure everything's out before we leave the scene. We have left to go to other fires, it flares back up, and we're right back on the same spot again.
That's exactly what he did right after our interview.
I'm headed to the east side, and then we'll make our way to the south side to make sure everything is stable down there.
Highway 23, I don't know where exactly.
Then it's off to another fire somewhere else. The Mississippi Forestry Commission has a live map for residents to track and report any brush fires in the state. You can find a link on WCBI.com.